I don't give a love to fuck about what them bitches gotta say. I'ma one West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a love to fuck about what them niggas gotta say. I'ma one West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gon' miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's the Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm reeling them in, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm stamped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad of this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, go through the baddest conditions. I'm fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she glad to be with me. And that thing Putin like Batman, niggas. She know I'm a prophet, she glad to be listening. Disrespect, I ain't having that shit till I go make some business from scratch. See, bitch, in a different breed of black men. We don't do the back thing. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get them racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight. Like, don't forget about my face. We standing up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Go get you some rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we sold you. You can take that to the bank, we focus on. How many times must we remind you? One body, one way, some break off, but never take off as a place. When the law with you ain't no up next, it's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world, I responded and called back. Oh Lord, and everything that they stole from us, fuck that shit, we want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, your honor, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. That's why we unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better hide the women, hide the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't but the same. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a fool, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in the with me. We in the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Black and Hispanic, Native American, Indian. We ain't just talking shit, but we living in it. We be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be fresh as hell, take a picture. And we professional with the scriptures. Play, we gon' script them, yeah, we some killers. These niggas tripping, they mind blown. Swear business, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't get it pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide on. The slide that I know about is when I send with the Glock with the slide on. Real, I get the order, you know that it's slaughter. See me and my niggas gon' die. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up by me cause I'm fed up. I rep UPK. My niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got 9s, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like, bitch, or whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like. My nigga like them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, your honor, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. Understand me? Like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Hey, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. Oh. You boy, you know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my niggas, yeah. I'm in it, yo. Got my nigga Ramon with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under command and general, your honor. My shit'll never change, and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home, that's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth, this shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it, ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talk the shit, yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid, number real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, the shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted, we hear the truth and reject it. But love is getting corrected, and all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
All right, shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana, where we teach so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians the truth about the Bible, that they are God's chosen people, the Israelites. Jesus Christ is a black man, and he's coming back to save you from your oppression. You know, you might not have understood what your oppression was before this weekend. You know, you see California going up in a blaze. You see that families are being separated since Donald Trump has come into office. And I'm here to explain all of that to you today. And the reason, but before I get into that, I want to explain what Brotherhood class is. Brotherhood class is a class where you learn how to love black people again,
Right.
where you learn how to love yourself, learn how to love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans again. Because if you're black, believe it or not, you don't like black people. There's something in you that's overly critical of your own people, but not so critical of our oppressor. If you're Hispanic, you know what you don't like? You don't like Hispanics, you don't like blacks, possibly because of the oppression that you've had to suffer here in America. That's why you need to come to watch these classes so you can unlearn the hatred that you've learned through our oppressor.
Right.
You need to learn how to love yourself and love your brothers again. That's Brotherhood class. So we're gonna get into it today. A lot of people have been going at it on the internet. Did you get that email?
Okay.
A lot of people have been going at it on the internet, talking about black people are trying to stay out of the black people are like, hey, I don't know if y'all want to get in it. Some black people are even saying, you don't want to get in the protest that Hispanics are conducting over there in California. I'm gonna break all that down. I'm gonna break down this FBA business, how it's good, how it's very not so good for black people, and things like that. But you could go ahead and get that first video. I'm gonna show y'all something. So right now, California is on fire. LA is on fire, but not because of a wildfire this time, but because Donald Trump wants to wage war against protesters.
Right.
I'm gonna give you the timeline of this. ICE comes in and conducts surprise raids at people's jobs, at graduations, at things like that, very sensitive events, to try to arrest as many so-called illegals as possible, and basically take them to all to Guatemala to be prisoners of the state. People in LA, mostly Hispanics and other people, do not like that. They go and protest, non-violently protest. Donald Trump doesn't like it. He hears about about the police coming up against some of these protesters, and you know what he does? He sends in the National Guard. First things first, send in the military, some lesser branch of the military to go put the place back into order. That causes more fighting in between the protesters and in between these the police, leading to property damage, leading to things like that. Because when you respond, when you come up against a protest with violence, that would mean that you're trying to be a totalitarian dictator. You don't want to hear your people. You just want them to quietly go back home as you begin to systematically separate all their families.
Right.
So, of course, they didn't like that. Of course, that was met with less than the rebellion of the Revolutionary War. They didn't go dumping out all the commerce of the city. They just, quietly defended themselves against a police officer who might want to abuse them. And that might be that's their right, lawfully. But with that, Donald Trump has now escalated it to say, you know what, we're going to send in the Marines. And with that, I don't know what the hell he wants to do with that. Right. Marines are only good at one thing I know.
Right.
And that's lethal force, shooting people.
Right.
But I will say all in all this, the military are better than the police at not escalating force. Yeah, I'll say that. The military have been across the world, so hopefully they don't go out and try to abuse Hispanics and abuse protesters when they get to L.A., like those police officers of L.A. County did. Like those police officers of L.A. County did. You know what a police officer do? A police officer will create an incident where they are authorized to use lethal force or appear to be authorized to use lethal force. They'll make it appear as though, okay, what, they'll make you reach for your wallet without asking for it.
Right.
They'll, instead of saying, let me see your ID, they'll ask you, do you have an ID?
Right.
Do you have an ID?
Damn.
You'll say yes. Do you have an ID? You'll say yes. Do you have an ID? The whole time their hand is on their gun, because if you reach for your ID without them lawfully giving you that command, they are in fear of their life. They just killed you lawfully.
Right.
Now, that's how the police operate here in America. Maybe the soldiers of the United States are a little bit kinder, hopefully. otherwise, it'll just be more bloodshed, more property damage, which I'm sure is not what any smart leader would want. But Donald Trump, he's not the smartest. Right. So we're gonna get this first video of this brother talking about the situation in California.
I'm a Marine, proud to serve, baby.
How long did you serve?
2005.
What do you have to say about President Trump sending National Guard?
It's not right, bro. You know what I mean? This country and this state runs with immigrants. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm a son of parents that came from Mexico. You know what I mean? It's not right. It's not right. You could take the criminals away.
Ahead, this is a Mexican American ex-Marine, so he's a retired Marine, standing up waving the Mexican flag in protest, talking about how what Donald Trump is doing is wrong.
Right.
The way he's separating these families is so evil, and how talking about how he's the child of Mexican parents, and this isn't what he voted for. He voted for them to come and take away the elite, the criminals, without really understanding that if they think you're an illegal immigrant, that would make you a criminal. And that's where we go wrong at the very start. Right. Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives, you made a misstep very early on when you tried to integrate and be a part of America. When you try to be a part of this place, that's when you made a mistake. And I'm going to tell you something. If it wasn't Donald Trump, I'm going to tell you something right now. If it wasn't Donald Trump who was president, and it was in fact Kamala Harris who was president, you would see black men and black women protesting instead. Right. You would see black men and black women protesting and saying, Kamala, I thought you were going to fix this police brutality. Damn. Kamala, I thought you was going to change and have a better lifestyle for black women and black men, blah, 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 blah. But because it's Donald Trump, now you see my Hispanic brothers out there. There is no difference in who you vote for. If you try to, whoever you are, wherever you are, whoever you vote for, if you vote for them, you will be heartbroken in the end. Right. Because in the end, they are not here to do anything for you. If you're so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian. All right, you could keep playing that video.
People for, man. That's not cool. Not cool, bro.
Ara, you were saying you were a U.S. Marine?
Pause it. All right. Now, there are black people, some of the coolest black people. These black people aren't legit. There are some cool black people coming out the woodwork talking like, if you want to be a part of America, why are you out there waving Mexico's flag? Why are you out there doing that? And what I hear when I hear that is I hear you really need to be a better slave. Right. That's what's gonna get you accepted. Right. If you're just a better slave, you lose that identity of yours, brother. These white people are gonna treat you okay, and that's a damn right lie. Damn. That's a coon lie that's been told since the house Negro and the field Negro. What flag they wave does not matter. There's they could do absolutely everything right, and the oppressor would still destroy them and obliterate them. Look at what they're doing. They're separating families of hardworking individuals. They're about to destroy their own economy because their economy is built on Mexicans. The Mexicans are here with paperwork to work for pennies on the dollar, and they said, you know what? We're not taking no Mexicans right now. Y'all got to go home. Farmers are in an uproar, this and that. Ain't enough South African farmers in the world, white South African farmers in the world to fix that. They're about to implode their own economy because of the hatred they have of Mexicans who come here lawfully in the correct way. So what is it in now? This is where blacks have to check their spirit. Some of us, not all of us. If you're over here saying that Mexicans need to stop waving, why are you waving that flag if you want to be a part of this country? Well, y'all didn't say that about the Palestinians. Right. Palestinian flag in everybody bio. You didn't say that. It's to show solidarity with someone, you idiot. But because you have no compassion in your heart, because you have no love in your heart, and you only person you love, only person you could seek to soothe is your oppressor, you don't even see their pain.
Right.
You just see where they're doing something wrong. And now you fully have the mark of the beast. You fully are a I wouldn't even call that Stockholm syndrome at that point. You just sold.
Right.
You sold on the program. It's whatever to you. That's not Stockholm syndrome at that point. Stockholm syndrome comes from a place of ignorance. But these people, a lot of brothers and sisters, knowingly go into this. Now, for the brothers who are ignorant to Donald Trump, ignorant, and I don't know how you didn't know that he was gonna come for your brothers, your mothers, your aunties, your cousins, your daughters, your sons, and put them on boats and planes and fly them away. For those brothers and sisters, I have compassion for them, because you were told a lie and you believed it. Give me Deuteronomy 28:32. We got something in the chat?
Loud, sir.
All right. I know you want to believe in America. You want to believe that if you're coming in the live on TikTok, like the live, man. I know you want to believe that if you do everything right, and if you obey the laws, and if you handle your business, go to work every day, that everything's going to be all right and this country will embrace you. That's a goddamn lie. That's a lie, man. And I'm going to show y'all some gruesome truths about this country.
Right.
This country loves to eat up the poor, and that's what it's built for. Eventually it's going to eat up enough blacks and Hispanics. It's going to make its way to those rednecks in the trailer parks.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's just a curse that they're bringing upon themselves. Go ahead, read it when you got it.
Colonel Wakan, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
See, this is the Bible showing curses that will befall the chosen people of Israel. Your daughters, your children, they're going to be given to another people, man. This is talking about slavery, but it's even talking about now. I'm about to show y'all in a second how all these little children, all those children who went missing, all of these children who go missing don't go missing.
Right.
They end up in trafficking schemes all around the world. They end up in child labor camps, in slavery all over again, quite literally. And that's where your children, your daughter, your wife, whoever they're taking might be going. You're probably never going to hear from them again. That's why I have so much compassion for what's happening to blacks, to what's happening to Hispanics,
right,
to what's happening to them all over this godforsaken country, man. You were led here by Joe Biden under our false auspices, right into a snare by Donald Trump. All right, go ahead and read on.
Colonel Wakan. And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
See, you're going to cry, man. You're going to cry because you're never going to see your children again. I just had my first child. I would never want, I think in horror of the things that could happen to him, right, because I know of the evils of this place.
Right.
And to imagine that some piece of garbage comes to my door and tries to put them on a plane against my will,
right,
I might burn the city down. Hypothetically,
right,
metaphorically.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the love that you need to have for these Hispanic brothers.
Right.
That's what's happening to these brothers, man. Is there any more on that?
Colonel Wakan, sir. And there shall be no might in thine hand.
There will be nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you could do about it, because we are separated. If we were together like God commanded, this is a curse that will befall us if we break God's laws. If we think that we could serve under another nation, serve under that nation's God, instead of serving under the Most High power in heaven, together as one nation, as blacks and Hispanics ought to be. If we thought we could do the vice instead of the versa, or whatever, instead of the opposite,
right,
then we would lose all our power. They come in and do whatever they want with us, as they are doing now.
Right.
And there's no amount of you could put your Mexican flag away. You could try to whitewash your skin. You could try to mejor la raza. You could try to do all of that, but you're still, at the end of the day, gonna be a Mexican. At the end of the day, you're gonna be black. There's nothing you could try to hide. That's what Adam did when he sinned, right?
Right.
He tried to hide in the leaves, hide in the nations, blend in. I'm trying to blend in, avoid God's judgment by blending in.
Right.
God is going to find you, and those curses will find you. Trust me, brother. There's no avoiding it because it came out of God's mouth. Now, let's say you don't believe. You don't have to believe. Your daughter's not at home. Your father's not at home. Your grandma's not at home anymore. You don't have to believe that, the words of the Bible. Just believe that empty house. All right, we could drop that. What's the next video, man? I encourage everybody to type in the chat, like the videos. If you got a comment or a question, we'll read it, we'll answer it. You know what I mean?
Colonel Wakan, sir, the next video is the PBS video, sir.
Okay, all right. So let me get Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 10.
Colonel Wakan.
Let me hold that real fast. Yeah. Y'all heard about how Donald Trump said that the age in which you can get food stamps for your children, that's gonna stop at like 8 now, right?
Damn.
I'm gonna break that down. That's definitely in a plan. That's
Damn.
definitely in Project 2025. That was probably before Project 2025. That's just on white people's minds. Make America Great Again is happening more than you might understand, more than you could ever know. They're about to put your children. They're about to separate families, like in slavery,
Right.
like the Bible just said, and they're about to put everybody to work individually. That's what's about to happen. Go ahead and read that when you got it.
Colonel Wakan, sir. This is the book of the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us spare not the widow.
See, this is the Bible. This is the Bible. This is the Bible talking in the perspective of your oppressor. This is how they think. So you can understand them before you try to go out and think better of them. Oh, Donald Trump, he's so nice. He just wants to make America great again. He just wants us to come in here legally. He just wants this. Before you think that, read this. Read it again.
Colonel Wakan. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow.
The Bible says that they think like this. They say, let us oppress the poor righteous man. That's evil, brother. Right. That's evil. That's like you riding around in your Maybach, your Mercedes Benz, trying to find a bum you could beat up, trying to find a homeless person you can abuse, right, because you're evil. You're downright evil. This is how they think on a higher level. Read on.
Colonel Wakan, sir. Nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age.
See, they're not going to have pity on the people who are most pitiful, or, who you should have the most sympathy for. A widow, a woman without her husband. They usually mourn until they die. Right. Hoping that if they pray they have kids, their kids come and see them once in a while. That'll be their joy. The grandchildren. That's a woman you should have pity on. A woman you should be kind to and gentle to. Or reverence the old and gray age. If you push an old man over, you just broke his hip forever. Right. These are people you should care about, take care of, but not our oppressor. Our oppressor says none will be spared. Let us oppress all of them. We're gonna read on to verse 11. That's how your oppressor thinks. This is the word of God right here in front of your face. Read on.
Colonel Wakan, sir, verse 11. Let our strength be the law of justice.
See, their power that what they're going to use to oppress us, blacks, Hispanics, and natives, is going to be the law. Oh, you're illegal. It's going to be the law. What I just explained about how a police officer is going to try to instigate your murder. He's going to try to escalate force. They got little weird rules in where they can lawfully kill you. Right. Trick you out of your life. The strength will be their law. This government is the government that will fly. First off, they will pay Colombians, to make cocaine. Then wage a war on those Colombians for all the cocaine that they're shipping to the U.S. They'll buy that Colombian cocaine, ship it to the U.S. themselves, put it in black neighborhoods, and then oppress the black people that they're getting high on crack and cocaine.
Good night.
That's the oppressor that we're under. And for some reason, we think he's different now because it's 2025. It's 2024. It's different. It's 2025. It's different. It is no different than when we first got off those boats. It is no different, according to the Bible. Read on.
Colonel Wakan, sir. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
See, they don't respect weak. They don't respect weakness. They think that they think of us as insects because we don't got money. They think of us as like your Christian pastor, your Catholic priest. He's thinking the same way. He doesn't have to respect us. He doesn't have to care for us because we don't got money. He just wants our pennies, collect our pennies to make him rich, and then he'll still look down and hate on us. That's how these oppressors think. They think of us as bugs to be squashed and to profit off of, nothing more. Or as a curious research study. That's what they think of us as. That's why they don't care to pump chemicals through your. I don't want to get too conspiratorial, but that's why they don't care to, do recalls on drugs they gave you 30 years ago. They don't care to do whatever, put bull BS in the food, because give you a bunch of cheap stuff, get more money from you, make themselves better, because you're nothing to care about. I've seen interviews from CEOs and presidents of companies who say, I've seen the research on plastic bottles. I would never drink out of a plastic bottle in my entire life. I don't care if it says BPA free, PFA free. That's all lies. I've seen that out of a real CEO's mouth, and that they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn about taking care of the country's, the people who live in this country's health. Right. You're a type of man who will stop on the side of a road if you see someone broken down. I've seen brothers pull people out of fiery burning crashes. They are the type of person to drive right by and say, "Oh, that's insane." That's the kind of person that you're trying to please in this country. Read on.
Colonel Wakan, sir. Verse 12. Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn.
The Bible says that he's going to lie and wait for the righteous. What did I just say about these traps that these presidents have set for my Hispanic brethren? You came to this country because Joe Biden said, come on over here. We're gonna take care of you. We're gonna process y'all as fast as possible. I know we destabilized your governments in Venezuela and in Central and South America, but we need some labor over here. They're set a trap for us, to lay in wait for you. And whether you come over here and get in legally or illegally, they say, these illegals that they hating on are actually people in processing.
Damn.
They're not people who jumped over the fence. People who jumped over the fence, they got no idea where they're at.
Right.
People who are in process of getting their visa, getting their what do they call them, asylum stay. Those are the people that they're booting out of this country. And other people who got, who are attached to like other documentation. It's not people who have no record here, who have no records or whatever. It's people who came in here actually the right way. Damn. Under Joe Biden's leadership. And so after they came in, had to wait in cages for years, had to suffer in the heat like they're in Arizona in prison for years to get in here, separated from their families, even then, some to never be seen. I think they got a measly settlement of a few million. I don't know if they'll see $1. Right. I was surprised they had to take the United States government to civil court. That after suffering all that and then being put in processes. Meanwhile, white Ukrainians, fast pass. Afghanistanians, fast pass. Straight on military flights over to the United States, put in housing, got food stamps, got a United States citizenship from what I understand. Damn. From what I understand. That's because they're not you. But you're us. Right. You're the nigga from down south. Right. Mexicans. And by the way, you can't say nigga. You can't say the N-word. Right. I'd like to say that. A little tangent. I see black people saying 100 Mexicans versus the N-word. If Mexicans felt comfortable saying the N-word, they wouldn't say in TikToks, Mexicans can say the N-word. They would just say nigga.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I say N-word, I say nigga, I say nigger. YouTube don't take this down, I'm black. I can say all that. I can say all that. And guess what? Mexicans can say all that too. That's a fact.
Right.
Now Mexicans, be proud of that. Black people, if you got a problem with that, stop sleeping with white people.
Right.
Your boyfriend / fiance / husband says nigger. Y'all encourage black women and black men to go sleep with white people who say that word, and they hate us. Before you come for me and my brothers who are out here in this ghetto banging it out together, go up to the hills, go talk to those black sisters and those black brothers who are whoring themselves out for the appeal of white people.
Right.
Go talk to them first. All right. What are we holding? Yeah, go ahead, finish that.
Colonel Wakan, sir, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objected to our infamy the transgressions of our education.
They are offended at how you live, not the color of your skin. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You do something that they could never do. You love. You have a compassion. You have a what they call common human decency.
Right.
My mother used to say common sense ain't common. Well, common human decency isn't common either. That because he is clean, contrary to our doings, he upbraideth us with our offending the law. We offend them because we live a clean lifestyle. You know how offended white people were when they found out we take baths?
Good night.
We were like, y'all don't take baths? They got offended in their spirit. Even though some of them, their skin didn't turn red or whatever, their soul was anguished that we blew up their spot and was like, hey, we're not going to say you nasty, but you know.
Right.
They were offended by how we follow the law, how we love God genuinely and not because it can make us some money. They're offended by that. They're offended about how a lot of us earnestly want to follow after the Most High, follow after the God of the Bible, when they could give a damn about the Bible, give a damn about what the Lord says in the book. That's a fact. You know what I mean? I get that. I'll break that down as simple as possible. I'm gonna tell y'all, y'all think Diddy is nasty. I know. Y'all have no idea what those Clintons are doing.
Right.
Y'all have no idea the amount of child abuse going on in this country, and it's out of white households and white cathedrals. That's who you should really be looking at to be like, oh, that's nasty. Oh, have you heard of Jeffrey Epstein? He's white.
Right.
He's white. Guess who he flew all to his island? More white people. That's a fact. When you're done, go ahead and grab that second video. We'll do that.
Did you play it from the beginning?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
In every great city lies a symphony waiting to be explored. My name is Stephanie.
Damn, boy. Right click up here and mute tab. That'll work. He over here. They trying to add us up.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
you said right click it? Oh.
Yeah, no, it's down there on the right.
Okay, there we go.
Damn, boy. Yeah, that's a fact. I'm gonna show y'all right now what they plan on doing with those children. You know, America is on waste not, want not. They got plans for those children. They got plans as they already still are using. The children who went missing are alive. The ones that are alive and working.
Right.
You know what I mean? They used to be 10, now they're 15. They used to be 11, now they're 16, and they are the manager at Walmart or McDonald's or something like that. I'm gonna prove it here with this PBS video. This is also why Donald Trump wants to shut down PBS. This is crazy. This is a crazy news report. Go ahead.
The U.S. are working in some of the most dangerous jobs in the country. What's more, private auditors assigned to root out unlawful labor practices often overlook child labor. Laura Barone Lopez has more.
A recent New York Times investigation found auditors failed to identify child migrants working at production warehouses used by some of America's most recognizable brands, including Skittles, McDonald's, and Gerber.
Pause. How do you not see children working in McDonald's?
Right.
How do you? I'm gonna tell you something. In those little white towns, that's where they ship those Hispanics. They saw white people drove up to those white windows, saw children. Most of them, like I said, because they don't have that common human decency,
Damn.
they just drove right by and it went under the radar. People actually come to the McDonald's, come inside, say, "This who you got working?"
Right.
They check their checklist and move on. They don't care. But it took some people who had to report it there and reported it at many other common brands that she's about to go into for this to be revealed. And these are just the ones that have been revealed. All those children who went missing, this is where a lot of them went. Go ahead.
In addition, the most common job for migrant children coming to the U.S. is also one of the most hazardous: roofing and construction, despite federal law prohibiting anyone under 18 from doing so. Hannah Dreyer of the New York Times joins me now. Hannah, thanks so much for being here. You reviewed private audits conducted at...
Pause. So if you just saw that, if you didn't see that, there was a kid carrying like 15, or maybe not 15, let's say 7 packs of shingles up a roof. And the roof fell in and they went right through it with all the shingles on top of them. Right. Depending on how far that fall is, that little man or woman broke many bones.
Right.
This is the employer doesn't care. Obviously, they're not paying these children anything. This is child slavery here in America, in front of your face, but you don't care. You don't give a damn. This is why God is going to come and destroy this place.
Right.
This is why. When they say that slavery is over, all I have to do is say, no, it's not.
Right.
No, it isn't.
Right.
It's still very live and well. Slavery is happening in America as I speak. Child slavery, chattel slavery. And a lot of these kids are being killed on the job site and just being put in unmarked graves, man.
Damn.
That's the truth. Go ahead, keep playing the video.
20 production facilities for well-known brands. What did those audits reveal about the use of illegal child labor?
So at all of these production facilities, there were children working usually the night shift with fake IDs, doing jobs that are totally off limits for minors. These are industrial jobs, working assembly lines, working with caustic chemicals at slaughterhouses. And despite the fact that there were private auditors sent explicitly to try to find out if these plants were using child labor, these kids were missed every single time.
How did
the auditors came out? What did I just say? The auditors came out. That means the government is involved. Right. Do I got to break that down? Auditors came out, seen children working around moving power equipment that could slice your hand off in a second. Said, everything looks good here. Everything looks good here. Let's go on. Let's wrap this up. Let's go grab some beers. That's America. That's America. And then on the other side, you know what they're going to say? They hate migrants. They hate Mexicans. Mexicans come here and what do they say? Mexicans are lazy? They say Mexicans are criminals. This is what you have their children doing. I know that the men work very hard. I make it my life's mission to go out to a work site and work slightly less hard than those Iscarite brothers. I say, if they get away with it, I can get away with it. I said, I'm not out here to compete. Those brothers work very, very hard, man, for the same money that, don't get me started on a white union worker. They have a joke. They have a joke in the white unions. They say, oh, you're on union time. That means you're moving slowly. Right. These Hispanic brothers come in and work, bang out a job, in no time flat, and almost have nothing to do with themselves. Now and that's the real reason why they hate Hispanics, because Hispanics come here and they're better than you. Right. they're better than our oppressor. Hispanics are better than our oppressor in every way, in every facet of life. They're better. They're better men. They're better fathers. They're better families. Right. They're better workers. They're better. They're better. You know what? Give me some things, man. They're better at everything. They're better at everything. Right. They follow the law more than you. They're not criminals. Right. They're not criminals. You're a damn criminal. White people will get pulled over for driving drunk at 90 miles an hour and then want to fist fight the cop. Right. Not a Hispanic brother. The Hispanic brother they go home right after work, may drink a beer, get up early, go back to work. You know, they ain't make it in time to go to church, do all these other things with their family. They're better fathers than you, and that's why you really hate them. That's why you really want to try to get rid of them. You're tired of seeing them. That's what the Wisdom of Solomon was saying. You just to look at a better man upsets you. That's what that is. To look upon a better man than you makes you hate them because you don't want to hate yourself. No, you're too proud for that. You don't want to fix yourself. You're too proud for that. You'd rather hate them and destroy them, man. Go. You could play some more of that video.
So companies respond to your investigation that these children were missed repeatedly?
You know, I've been covering migrant child labor for the past almost 2 years now, and we have uncovered children working these kinds of jobs in all 50 states. And every time I've gone to the companies and said, you know, McDonald's, why were children making the pork in your sandwiches? Or Gerber, why were children working overnight on your baby food products? They say, well, that can't possibly have happened because we have auditors in place who are supposed to be catching this stuff. And what we found is really the system is set up in a way that it's not going to find children. Children work at night and the auditors come in the morning. Children work with fake IDs. The auditors are checking paperwork, not actually speaking with children. A 16-year-old was killed over the summer making chicken that goes in Chick-fil-A sandwiches, but he was working with an ID that said that he was in his 30s. So that's never going to get caught by the system.
The private auditing industry makes
Pause.
billions.
Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. Now, that all sounds like it, oh, you know, they just slipped through the system. Have you ever gotten a job in America? Right. Have you ever been a kid? Could I be a 10-year-old, walk up with a fake ID and get a job in America? Damn. No. This is a systematic ploy on my Hispanic brothers. Now, this has been happening since recordedly, this woman said during the Joe Biden administration. It's still going on today. Except now, I guess Donald Trump wants to get rid of the parents, make good, and that's how you really raise slaves. Isn't that in the Willie Lynch letters? You got to separate the families. Right. You got to separate the father. Get those fathers out immediately. Separate those fathers immediately. A lot of sisters do that willingly, and then you wanna bring those children and raise those children up and make those women teach those children too to be good slaves. Go to work for me, work hard, blah blah blah. Do that, and then that will start in one generation a forever factory of slaves. Now you don't gotta even do anything. You just turn your back and it works for itself. That they got a little saying on the internet right now. They said the CIA going up. You know, CIA, the damage the CIA has done to the black community is amazing because you have black people now, they're perpetuating ignorance all on their own. Right. Black people are like, wait a minute, what do you say? Oh, the CIA, this is the work of the CIA. I'm starting to understand now that what they did, they don't even got to put their hands on anymore. Black people are now working for the CIA for free in essence. That's exactly what they're setting up when they separate these families with ICE. When they separate these families and move them to God's nowhere for God knows what. Right. All right, let me get the rest of Wisdom of Solomon. Let me get that next verse. You did. You can just go back. He was right there. Oh, damn. Here you go to the next verse.
Colonel Concert, this is the book of the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 13. He professeth to have the knowledge of God, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord.
See, this is blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. This is us in the UPK. We are the child of God, and we're here now, man. We're not going for the BS. We're not slaves. When Christ said, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, this is what freedom looks like. I don't give a damn about my oppressor, my boss, or none of that. My bosses are afraid of me. Every job I've been in where they found out I'm in the UPK, it's like a whole new level of respect.
Right.
I don't go out and tell them. I just be like, I'm doing me.
Right.
One day they're gonna see me on TikTok.
Right.
They notice little things. I don't joke with them. So on certain topics,
Right.
they notice that I don't eat with them. I don't do those things. That's my personal. That's how I personally get down.
Right.
And then one day they're gonna see me on their phone, see me on TikTok, see me on YouTube, see me on the news, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's Barakia."
Right.
They're gonna come to work. They're gonna talk to me about it. I'm gonna say, "Yeah, that's how I get down."
Right.
This job, I couldn't really get around it. It was first day. They was like, "What?" I said, "No, I can't do that, man. I'm blah blah blah." 2 people jumped out. "You an Israelite?" I said, "Yeah, I'm an Israelite."
Right.
Everybody, calm down. I'm not here to hurt nobody white here.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what being free is.
Right.
I don't need to. What do they want me? Shave my beard, cut my hair, talk white or whatever to get in, to fit in. That's how you be a real man, and you earn the respect of this oppressor. Make sure this oppressor understands that you know who he is, because for this to work on you, a lot of it you gotta believe that they aren't an enemy.
Right.
You gotta believe that this isn't all on purpose. Go ahead, keep reading.
Colonel Wakan, sir. Verse 13. Verse 14, Salakia. He was made to reprove our thoughts.
See, he knows that we were made. This is what it means to be a light to the Gentiles as well. The oppressor knows that we were made to reprove their thoughts. You ever look at somebody doing something right, and it makes about everything you've done wrong? You ever look at somebody and be like, "Man, that's a good brother, man. I see how he treats his kids. I see how he treats his wife. I need a change." That's what we think. The oppressor sees us. He says, "That's a good brother, man. I see how he treats his wife. I see how he treats his kids. He don't abuse them. He don't yell at them. He don't beat them. He probably wouldn't even kill him if his stock market dropped."
Damn.
We got to get rid of him.
Good night.
That's how they think.
Good night.
We were made to reprove their thoughts. That's what being the light to the Gentiles is, because they're supposed to look at us and look up to us and be like this. Be like this. Trust me, I'm gonna make you work harder than an Issacharite in the kingdom of heaven.
Damn right.
That'll be my life's mission. Why can we increase productivity?
Right.
Y'all gonna think I'm goddamn. Well, how do we increase productivity? Nah, we gotta delete some of those. I mean, they're not getting any breaks. It's sun up to sundown.
Right.
We need to get a night shift in here.
Real talk. Real talk.
We need to get a night shift. That's what I'm gonna do. I mean, but you're gonna look up to me, and you're gonna be able to know that God put me there to reprove yourself,
Right.
to understand what you and your people did wrong. Go ahead, keep going.
Colonel Wakan, sir. Verse 15. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion.
I think that's it on that. Is that it on? Yeah, that's it on that. Go ahead, drop that. Give me Proverbs 31 or 3 and 31. That's a fact, man. The oppressor, he just hates to look at us. You think it's based on your skin color? It started before. That's how they identify you. Of course, it's how they identify you, but that's not why they hate you. That's not why they hate you at all. They know a white woman with tan skin.
Right.
They know an East Indian with dark black skin. They know an African, apart from so-called black people with black skin. No, they hate you because of who you are and how you are and how good you are in your heart and your soul, man. Now, that's something that blacks and Hispanics, we're all going to have to tap back into. All this weeping and moaning and complaining. Oh, I don't know if black people should get involved. You know who was out there marching when George Floyd died? Hispanics.
Right.
Oh, I don't know that we should sit out of this one. You was never in it. I'm going to keep it a buck. Black people are very divided. That's what this FBA business is. The big thing about this FBA thing I hate personally, IBR, is how much it's separating black people. It's separating us from Caribbeans. It's separating it from everybody in Caribbean. That's Haiti, Dominica, Cuba, Puerto Rico, all of those brothers, Trinidad, Tobago, all of those brothers, that separating us from them to try to, you know what they're trying to do? Please white people.
Right.
Well, maybe you'll give us some money if you realize how mean you were. Quit begging. You are not gonna get a crumb from the white man by separating further from black people.
Right.
That's my biggest gripe about this FBA business. And now I'm all for kicking Africans out. Africans do not belong with us.
Right.
That's a fact. FBA, that's why I said there's some things in this FBA business I'm with. But you trying to treat Hispanic Jamaicans and Hispanics a certain way, it definitely offends me. And you know what they try to say? They try to say, well, Jamaicans and Hispanics are racist to black people. They try to say that. You treat Jamaicans and Hispanics worse on the internet than white people.
Damn.
I don't know anybody who's treated us worse than white people. I don't think that it's about how some Hispanics have come out to say certain things, how some coons on the Hispanic side, how some coons on the Jamaican side have come and uplifted their voice. I don't think it's about that. I think it's more so that you like to pick on little people.
Right.
I think that's what it is. I think that you lack a little bit of that common human decency that I was talking about earlier. It's got nothing to do with some Hispanics who were mean to you in middle school. It's got nothing to do with that. There are plenty of white people who did that. Where's that energy for them?
Right.
I think it's got everything to do with how you are selfish and you don't want to go along with a bigger plan, a plan bigger than you. And that's what my problem and God's problem is with the FBA movement, because you want to separate from his people. God said, gather yourselves together. You're going to need each other more than ever. If you want these families to stop being separated, if you want to grow up, you want to see your child's face before you die, you're going to want to gather together with all your people, not just the black people you grew up with in your hometown. You're going to want to be a nation again, as the Bible calls it. That's the only way you're going to have some power in this place, some flexing room. And you're going to need to be a nation, you're going to need a constitution, and that's where this Bible comes in.
Right.
This right here, that's where this Bible comes in. This is your constitution. You don't need anything else. This is going to get everything. This is going to knock everything up out the water. Promise you. This has got female rights in it. This has got what else it got? Children's rights. It's got it's got communal laws, neighborhood laws, things like that, safety laws, things like that. Everything right here in this Bible to keep you safe and keep us governed.
Right.
But that's only if you want to not be governed by your oppressor anymore. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to choose to not be governed by your oppressor anymore. You're going to have to choose to separate from them. FBA, you haven't chosen to separate. That's the only person you haven't chosen to separate from, white people.
Right.
Because you got to hold on to white people in hopes that they give you some money when they're not going to give you any money. They're not. They wanted to do it, they would have did it. They don't want to. They're not going to. You're going in the opposite direction. All right. Read what you got.
Colonel Wakan, sir. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
The Bible says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. See, that's what the FBA does. FBA is envious of that money. FBA is envious of that status, envious of those cars, those lavish lifestyles. They don't want to be in the hood. That's what a lot of those Hispanic brothers did too when they voted for Donald Trump. They were envious of their oppressor. They wanted to be, they got to come here illegally. They got to come here illegally. How'd you come here? My mother came here illegally. My mother came here illegally. You're an idiot. Be quiet. Fall back. because you envy this oppressor, that's a lot of the reason why brothers voted for Donald Trump. That's a lot of reason why brothers want to coon. Why are you waving that flag? Why are you waving that flag? That's a lot of that. Because you want to, that's a lot of reason why you do a lot of things in America. Because you want to be not looked at as a nigga anymore. You want to be looked at as an American. I'm American. That's why y'all hope war breaks out, so y'all have a better excuse. I'm not black, I'm American. Damn. That's what they did during the Iraqi war. When 9/11 happened, they said forget all this race stuff. Even though Rodney King just got beat down or whatever, all the racist things that happened in L.A. and across this godforsaken country, they said forget that. I'm American, because you envy your oppressor. The only reason you get mad at him is not because you're upset at oppression, it's because you're upset he doesn't treat you nicely. He doesn't treat you like he treats himself. Go ahead, keep reading.
Colonel Wakan, sir. Verse 32. For the froward is abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous.
See, if you would stop envying these froward people, these very mean, evil people, well, brother, you would have the secret that comes with the righteous. You would be able to understand what God is writing in this book and what God has in store for you. You want some money, FBA? Come back to the Bible. Gather with your people. You want some love, Hispanics? Y'all want to be treated fairly? You better come in this UPK. We're gonna treat you fair.
Right.
You're my brother. I say that openly, honestly, and earnestly. These oppressors that you're trying to please, not even at your job, these are just oppressors in office who hate you, who's got a track record of trafficking your people and hating your people. You trying to please them, brother, you're going to fall further. Right. We're going to fall further. And this is the end. We don't have any more time to be making any more mistakes. We don't have any more time to be wasting time. This is the time they start getting it right. This is crunch time if I've ever felt it.
Right.
I feel it. You get that feeling in your stomach like, oh, shit, something about to happen, bro. Yeah, like when a police pull up behind you, damn near, like, oh, damn, whoa. That's what I feel. It's not even a year yet. Donald Trump in that office. I said, oh, my God, something going on, man. Oh. Ooh. I think I got to use the bathroom. No, I don't got to use the bathroom. Oh, man. That's how I feel. That's the kind of emergency I feel behind blacks and Hispanics getting together and fixing the problems in our neighborhoods ourselves. Quit begging for your oppressor to do it, man.
Right.
All right, what up? Drop that. Give me that next video. We got anything in the comments? What's going on in those comments?
Colonel Wakan, if I could, sir. You got A Heiner. This caddy always trolling. He's talking about
I love the trolls, man. That boy came out his cave.
Yeah, he came out his cave. Black Hebrew fake Israelites work for the Pope CIA.
Work for the what?
For the Pope's CIA.
The Pope's CIA.
Yeah, his whole thing is he called us black Romans. And yeah. So he says
I pity, brothers who don't have much rattling on in their minds, It's kind of like sisters. Right. There's some sisters out there, they just don't know no better. They sisters who they're so in love with, they don't really even understand that they love white people.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you can see how and who they love by their actions, who they come up against. I bet he's never risen up against a black person, against a white person like this. So, I mean, go ahead. Anything else from him?
Colonel Wakan, sir, he said 80% of blacks have no father and were raised by fed and the welfare from the white man's taxes. 80% of blacks have no father in America. Brazil and Cuba, mulatto.
Is he black? Is he black?
No, he's a presumed to be white man, so-called white man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Come on, Tyler. Chill out, bro.
He said mulattoes are the future.
Tyler like black girls? Boy, you better get your pervy ass up out of my chat, bro.
Right.
This is not for you, Tyler. I'm going to tell you something, Tyler. God does have something for you, though. And, if God allow, me and my brothers will hand deliver it for you personally.
Damn right.
Boy, that boy, Hey, I get you, man. I know you mad. That's what Song of Solomon 2 just talked about. You can't even look at us and be happy. I see white people doing evil stuff all the time. You know what? I just be like, dang, that's crazy, boy. You gotta move on about my day. Nah, he gotta rise up. They reading the Bible and they think they some shit. Let me get on my keyboard. Right. Get your dumb ass up out. Right. If you don't get your dumb ass, boy, you lame. I feel bad for you, Tyler. I know you, boy, I know you ain't taking a shower in a week and a half. Right. Man. I know it's stinking that room. Good night. God have mercy on your mother's house. Right. On her basement. On her basement.
Hey, still like it, sir. So it's another cat in here. He said, "Are you guys from the lost tribe of nigga?" He said, "I'm Japanese. We are the true Israelites."
He white too. Yeah. Right. And no, you're not.
Right.
Look, man. All right. I'm liking these trolls we're getting. I'm doing something right out here. We're doing something. We're doing something, brothers. Right. Look, the more hate we get, the more lit it's gonna get. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
So look, man, y'all keep it up, man. Y'all jokes, y'all keep y'all comedy act up. I think y'all could do better than that, you know, because I just talked to your mama and she's laughed hard at my jokes.
Right. Good night.
So let's get that next video.
Come on, sir.
100 miners have been tonight. A federal investigation confirming that over 100 miners have been working in dangerous conditions across the Midwest. Advocates working with the miners say they're migrants, some as young as 13, working overnight shifts and employed to clean slaughterhouses at 13 different locations in 8 different states. In total, 102 miners employed by the company.
Now look
Packer
at this map.
Sanitation Service.
This is the 100 miners that this news station personally tracked through talking to like certain individuals who were advocating for these miners. And this is a year or two old, of course. This is everywhere in the country, basically. They cannot find where these miners went. When you go ask the government, they say, and you say, where did those kids go? They say, we don't know. I don't know. Where did those kids go? What kids?
Right.
News people just started finding out where these kids are at. I know for a fact there's got to be at least 10 warehouses completely manned by child labor in this godforsaken country. Just child slavery. The whole night shift, children. Just come on in, clean up the knives, slaughter some more meat. I think this report might talk about how one of the kids died in the slaughterhouse because a blade was left on. I've seen a video of, I wouldn't show that to the class, but I've seen a video of, power equipment taking a child's life in these slaughterhouses. Go ahead, keep playing, or, go ahead, keep playing if you like.
Come on, sir.
Or PSSI, the company contracted nationwide with facilities in Kansas, Minnesota, and Nebraska, which were found to employ the most teenagers, according to the Department of Labor. Investigators sharing the details in a teleconference today.
We found that over the course of the past 3 years, PSSI employed at least 102 children in hazardous work, cleaning dangerous power-driven equipment like skull splitters and razor-sharp bone saws, and used caustic chemicals.
Pause. All right, full screen on me. Now, who thinks anybody at these slaughterhouses went to jail?
Damn.
Tyler, you think anybody went to jail? Japanese white man, did anybody go to jail behind this? Do you care? You probably don't care. You probably don't care. I got Antonio Cordero in the chat said he don't believe in God. That's a tough one, Cordero. Look, nobody went to jail. The news reported it, and this is what really gets me about you Hispanics, brother, and black people who believe in this white oppression so much, y'all think that when they say, yeah, we just want to get the criminals, you think they believe that? Donald Trump is a criminal. They don't give a damn if you're a criminal or not. They give a damn if you're white or not. If you could commit whatever crime you want if you're the white complexion. If you're the white nationality, not the complexion, excuse me. If you're the white, the right race, Salakia. That's what they care about. These people at this slaughterhouse have been reported for years that they are employing children. You know what the children do right after this news article goes up? They go right back to work because they don't care about these kids.
Right.
They don't give a damn about them. The government, the FBI, the CIA, nobody gives a damn about it. Whoever's supposed to prosecute this, the FBI, the federal government, is supposed to prosecute this. The Department of Human Safety, OSHA's supposed to fall on this. All these people are supposed to come and jam this illegal child slavery up. Nobody does. Right. It's been years. Why? You know, keep thinking what you're thinking.
Right.
Keep thinking you know what the hell's going on here. And that's what I was talking about earlier with that the food stamp thing, right? Lower the 7-year-olds. That's gonna be they're gonna want that for my kid too. They're gonna want that for black kids too. That's why brotherhood is a weapon. You're gonna have to learn to love black people again. And my first step to loving black people personally started when I hated the people who hated black people. That's when it personally started. I said, why are they doing this to the people I love? They didn't do nothing wrong. I had a side when that Alabama brawl went on. It was no confusion for me. You know what I mean? So you're gonna need to wisen up. And I'm gonna tell you something. You're a brother out there. You're moving shiesty. You thinking you could? It doesn't matter about the community, your community, and how it's operating. You're gonna get caught out there alone. If your sister out there moving like that, like you think you don't need your child's father in your life, you're thinking like you don't need to build up this community around you. Everybody's individuality is what matters. You're gonna be caught out here alone. Worse, and we're gonna be caught worse than these Hispanics, my Hispanic brothers and sisters, because they have a semblance of community and things like that left.
Right.
They do. You know, they have a big internal fight like we do about how things should be done or whatever, what's okay, what's not okay. But at the end of the day, you know, they still, you know, they at least love each other to the second and third generation inside their own family. At least mom and dad gonna have a, you know, mother and daughter gonna have a toxic relationship. At least mother, daughter, grandma, father, son, grandson are gonna have a relationship. Not so much in the black community anymore, from being directly under the foot of our oppressor. Right. It is time to wisen up. I have fear. I don't want my child working in no goddamn, going to school during the day, working a slaughterhouse or a McDonald's at night.
Right.
God knows where I'll be. They'll try to separate me from them. I don't want that. So I'm here in the UPK praying to God that he comes and fulfills his prophecies to do away with my oppressor and bring him to heel, give them to me for a possession. That's what I pray for. Now you keep trying to pray, we shall overcome all that BS. Why, you know, what else they say when they march? No justice, no peace.
Right.
See if that works. See if that works. Keep praying to your oppressor. See if that works. It's not gonna work. It's not. You could get second edge of 16 and 40, and you can play the video while you
Story we first reported earlier this year. At the time, we spoke with Audrey Lutz, who has been helping migrant children who say they've worked at one of those plants.
You met them. Did they look like adults to you? I would have a hard time ever calling the people I've met with adults. They certainly look,
Yikes.
especially the youngest middle.
She said, you met them. Did they look like adults? She said, I'd have a hard time calling the people I met adults. Damn. You ever talk to a child and they just seem naive? Like, you know, they're trying to talk to you the best that they can. Like, that's a kid. What are we... This is disgusting, man. This is disgusting. This is still going on today. Donald Trump in charge. I thought Donald Trump was going to come and fix all the evil, that Joe Biden clean the swamp. Y'all thought that, didn't you? You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You haven't read history. You haven't learned your lesson. And that's okay. I used to be like you. I used to be a lot like you. I used to not understand how things worked. I used to think like these FBA brothers, maybe we could vote, maybe we could protest our way into a better future. I used to be like my Hispanic brothers. If I just work hard enough, there's nothing that I can't do that a white man can do. Well, I was an idiot.
Right.
I was dumb until I came into this school and I learned a lesson.
Right.
I learned just how deep the pit of my oppressor's evil went. I learned how evil they really were. And excuse me. And I learned what I needed to do to live.
Right.
According to Yahushua Mashiach, according to Jesus Christ.
That's right.
And on another short tangent, that's what I really don't like about you Christians, because why the hell do y'all want everybody to be saved? Everybody don't need to be saved, man. They don't. You know who needs to be saved? These Hispanic families,
right,
who are being separated. These Hispanic children in this slaughterhouse and working these child slaveries all over the United States of America, they need to be saved.
Right.
They need to be saved. Why the hell do we got to save why the hell do we got to save white rich people or white people at all? Why? Why do you think Jesus Christ had to die for that? They look pretty saved to me. Go ahead, play the video.
Schoolers, no way to pass as an adult.
Today, in a statement, Packer Sanitation Services said, in part, our company has a zero tolerance policy against employing anyone under the age of 18 and fully shares the DOL's objective of ensuring full compliance at all locations. As soon as we became aware of the DOL's allegations, we conducted multiple additional audits of our employee base and hired a third-party law firm to review and help further strengthen our policies in this area. Investigators say PSSI had previously flagged some applicants were too young, but proceeded to employ them anyway, calling these violations, quote, corporate-wide failures.
Make no mistake, this was no clerical error or actions of rogue individuals or bad managers.
As a result, PSSI was fined and has paid $1.5 million in penalties.
I'm going to tell you something. They made $1.5 million the first month they had those children working there. I mean, you know how much it costs to pay mass labor? Mass labor that produces, things on that kind of scale. Working in construction as I do, I know that my man hours the company gets paid like $300 to $400 or $500 every hour I work. That's just me. I'm getting a tenth of whatever that is. Damn. I'm getting a tenth of that. The rest of that's going to the company for whatever they dictated for. CEO profits, costs, tools, whatever.
It's like it, sir.
Go ahead.
If I may, looking at this video, the first thing they say was an error. Everything is an error when they get caught. It's an error.
Right.
But nobody get punished behind it. You know what? The meantime, they will make it, like you said, they made how much money? 1.5 million?
That's how much they got fined.
How much they got fined? I'm pretty sure they made probably close to that. They probably paid with cash out, because I'm pretty sure they'll get free labor from the young kids. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, everything is an error. Like you said, the ladies came up there. She said she went to the place and she said, you could tell that's a young person. But you tend to look past it because who runs the business is your own kind that runs the business.
Right.
So you don't try to get involved in that, because if it was a black person or a Hispanic person running these business, you'd be digging, going, you editing, auditing they bank account, whatever, they payroll, you order and all that stuff getting ordered, you go down to the penny. But now as your oppressor, you begin to look over it. Now it's come up like now it's an error. You know what I'm saying? It's like you.
Nah, you give that brother a hand. He's exactly right. They actually, when presented with it, they were like, we don't have no kids working here. And then when the proof came out and they got reported, they were like, oh, that's an error. This shouldn't even be like this. Yeah, of course it's an error. You're going to say that to save your own behind. And now I got a theory. We're going into theory time real quick. Conspiracy theory time real quick. Now, if those children, they're not getting paid much. That's a fact. I know that. But I think about the white people who came. Now, white people would come down to the border, and for some reason, they would give white people these Hispanic kids. This is another report. I couldn't find it. A lot of these reports have been taken down. They would adopt the children, take them to wherever back home, basically. And then basically, I'm imagining they get these kids this job at the slaughterhouse so that these white people can essentially take the kids' checks. The white people would take the Hispanic kids' check and profit off of it. So essentially, this white family has a Mexican slave. So not only does this company profit, I think about the homes that these Hispanics go back to. It's not like they go home back to their families. They don't live with their families. They don't live with it. They live with what they call. They have a special name for it. It's like it's not a guardian, but it's kind of like a guardian. It's somebody who comes and signs for you and said, you live with them for a time until your parents show up or whatever they call it. But your parents are never showing up. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Your parents are never showing up. You're never coming to get God. I forgot what it's called. But that's my little conspiracy theory corner. White people on both sides are getting paid, and they're knowingly participating in this wretched evil. And then the check goes straight to their bank account, and they getting all the money. You know what I mean? So making these children slaves. No, it's not like it's like guardianship. It's almost like an exchange. What do they call like the exchange student's house? The person over the exchange student's house.
Right.
It's something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but we could drop that. Was that the last video? I think we might got. What's that one talking about? Oh yeah, we're gonna get that. Let me get the precept first.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle.
See, this is something that God is telling you. O my people, make you ready to thy battle. Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives, you have a battle to face here in America. It's not a physical one like you might see on the news. It's a spiritual battle. You got to do something spiritual, and it is a battle. I know it hurts to hate white people. You got so many white friends, right? Does this mean I gotta hate my coworkers? Does this mean what does this mean? I'm married to a white man. I'm married to a white woman. That just means you can't give her all your love.
Right.
That means your love got to come to me first, brother.
Right.
This is Brotherhood class. I told you I was going to teach you how to love black people again.
Right.
I told you I was going to teach you. Brother, hey, I have first dibs. Black women have first dibs. If you're single, well, you are to love a black woman, a Hispanic woman.
Right.
That's love, brother. That's your battle. I know you're battling with that. You want to go get you a BBL white girl. You want to go get, do you some drugs, hang out with the boys or whatever in the bars. No. God said, get ready for the battle.
Right.
The battle is right here upon you. If you cannot do this, and I see brothers come up to the camp, brothers who come up and they say, hey, y'all just call me when the war starts. When it's ready, when we ready to get down.
Right.
Brother, we getting down right now. You don't see it?
Right.
I'm not sleeping with white girls. I'm not doing drugs. That's a war right now.
Right.
The war on drugs was a war on black people.
Right.
I'm winning that war. Are you?
Right.
You better get ready for the battle. See, white people are waging a war. They know that the war ain't just boots on the ground in the ghetto.
Right.
What they think carefully of how to divide and how to destroy us. Brother, if they're waging that war against us, it's my job to defeat them in it. They want to put drugs in my neighborhood, I resist. They want to make us all criminals, I resist.
Right.
They want to tarnish our reputation, I resist. That's what I do. They want to give me a white woman, I resist. Jesus Christ, that's nasty work, boy. That's nasty work. You know what I mean? I can't. All the ploys that they try to do. They try to give me some money to do something gay. I resist.
Right.
You know, Tyler. They want to give me some money to make a Tyler Perry movie. I resist. Whatever that is. You know what I mean? That little weird Hollywood business. I resist. That's what you're gonna have to do. This battle is spiritual. Read it from the top.
Colonel Wakan, sir. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
See, and in those evils be even as pilgrims unto the earth. You shouldn't be ready to you're getting too comfortable. That's what you are. Damn. You're getting too comfortable. You know, I got my whole family here. I love it here in Austin. My wife, you don't want to give stuff up. You're not ready to just move if something goes wrong, and something's about to go wrong.
Right.
There's nothing you can be too attached to. You're trying to don't make your home too perfect. You know what I mean? Don't take out $75,000 to build a pool in your backyard. You got other stuff there are people to help in your community. There are things to do in your community before you go out and try to go and build a second story to your house. Now, I'm not telling you to not have nice things or anything like that. But what I am telling you is don't overlook the people who need help. Don't aggrandize the consumerism of America. You need to be looking towards what I can use practically in case, something hits the fan, in case I got to get out of here, in case ICE comes at my door, and now they don't want Hispanics, they want me. And you know what I mean? Right. Does this make sense to you? Does this make sense to brothers? You're gonna, because the government, they're devising all sorts of ways to get niggas.
Right.
That's their whole job. The FBI meetings every Monday morning. So what do you got to get these niggas? Damn. That I go to work, I'm trying to, just trying to stay awake, sip on some coffee, turn a wrench.
Right.
They come to work thinking about how to get me.
Good, nice.
That's their job. Now you're gonna need to be able to go to that job and also be able to duck the ways and the war efforts of the devil. Go ahead, jump to verse 45. Same chapter. Is there anything in the chat?
Sir. You said verse what, sir?
45. I appreciate a troll now. I appreciate y'all coming, Tyler and Takanawa. Y'all always welcome to come here at the ISUPK. I guess. Well, you'll be very welcome on the plantation.
Right.
You'll be very welcome. Trust me.
Colonel Wakan, so this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 45. And therefore they that labor in vain, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods.
See, this is the blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians. See, we labor in vain. All this work we're doing, we work extra hard for nothing. Those little children in those factories, those Hispanics in those factories, they're working hard for nothing. We're laboring in vain to line other people's pockets. Strangers shall reap our fruits. That's what's happening now. And then we believe that if we have some sort of solidarity with them, if we work with them, if we try to try to appease them politically, you know. Oh yeah, you got to come in here the right way. That's what the white man say. We got to do that, and then they're gonna love us. They're gonna appreciate us. You're dead wrong.
Right.
Keep reading.
Colonel Wakan, sir. And take their children captives, for in captivity and in famine shall they get children.
See, they are going to take our children captives. Hispanics have come here and worked and made produce here cheap. You know, built houses up cheap. Built up the reason your smartphone is working so fast. Hispanics building those towers.
Right.
The reason the electricity is running in here because Hispanics are linemen and blacks, and they're working around the clock 24/7. Every time there's an outage and it's back up, and you over there geeking. Oh, the power. Oh, the power. There's a Hispanic who woke up out of his sleep to come and fix it.
Right.
And he did it in what, 2 hours?
Right.
Brothers and sisters, the time is coming where darkness will fall over this land, electrically, metaphorically,
right,
spiritually.
Damn right.
You know, what are you gonna be like? Are you gonna be somebody spazzing because you don't know what's going on?
Right.
Are you gonna be looking? Who are you gonna be looking towards to fix it when that darkness approaches?
Right.
I'm not gonna be looking for the police. That's the last person.
Right.
I'm not gonna be looking for the president. That's the last person. I'm gonna be looking for where the niggas. Where my niggas at? Where my niggas at? Where the ISUPK at? We gonna need them. We got a plan for this.
Right.
Look, it's not a. It's a. We got a little plan for that. We got a little what they call those. I forget what they call it. Shit hit the fan plan.
Right.
We got one of those. I'm not looking for my oppressor to save me.
Right.
I never do. I rarely do. I am a black man who's prepared to save himself, and before that, I'm a man who prays that God saves him.
Right.
That's who I am.
Right.
I don't want to be in the hands of my oppressor. Like David said, I'd rather be in the hands of the Lord than in the hands of the nations, right, because they're far crueler and lack mercy than God. Go ahead, keep reading.
Colonel Wakan, sir, verse 47. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons.
See, they rich off of our labors. They occupy, they merchandise. They're getting, the reason these mansions are so big for them, the reason they can buy all these properties is because of how cheaply we work and how much we do for this God-forsaken country, man.
Right.
What else to say on that?
Verse 48. The more will I be angry with them for their sin, said the Lord.
The more, see, that's gonna make God even angrier, right, for the sins that our oppressor has done to us. This what they're doing to these families with ICE, God hates this.
Right.
God, you think God is gonna look down on America, look down on Donald Trump and say, "Oh yeah, that is against the American law"? No. God is going to look down and remember this.
Right.
He's going to remember the separation of families that you've done, the enslavement of children, men and women and children you've done. And he's going to remember it. It's going to make God angrier. And that's a little small thing. God hates America.
Right.
God in America, you may not know this, they hate God too.
Right.
America, Donald Trump hate God.
Right.
They hate God. They're about to try to put the 10 Commandments in schools. That's for sure.
Right.
They don't give a damn about the 10 Commandments.
Right.
You know, one of the 10 Commandments is the Sabbath day you shall keep it holy. Right. 6 days shalt thou labor, and on the 7th you will rest. Nigga, go work them 7/12s.
Right.
Nigga, go work them 7/12s. They don't give a damn about the 10 Commandments. Another one of the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not kill. Do I got to break that down? They killing the hell out of, brother. Come on, brother. Come on now. This is this is the country we live in. It's a country of hypocrisy.
Right.
All right, go ahead, keep reading.
Colonel Wakan, sir. Verse 49. Like as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman.
See, like a hoe envies a good woman, a righteous woman. See that? And now y'all gotta peep this. I know you brothers understand. See, a hoe. That's why, you know, people forgive me. I remember when I first came in the truth. I was real like y'all would not have recognized me in the world at all. I was like, these sisters are good sisters. These some good sisters. You gotta give these women some chance. They just be weak sometimes. Nah, she a hoe. When I came in the truth, like first week, I said, it was bitches this, bitches that. Complete night and day. My family was like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I said, well, is she a bitch? Do she call herself a bitch?
Right.
Can't you call a spade a spade. I said that's life. Now the Bible is saying, like I was pull it up for me real quick. Like as a whore envieth a right woman, a right, honest, and right virtuous woman. See, a hoe is envious of a good woman because they do something that they couldn't do. Girls who start OnlyFans, I'm gonna tell y'all something y'all don't understand, are lazy.
Right.
Those girls are lazy. There are very beautiful women who go to work, become lawyers, become authors, become hardworking, upstanding people in society, and do not sell naked pictures of their body on the internet. Now, the girls who are on OnlyFans are envious of the girls who are not on OnlyFans and are successful. That's I don't know if y'all are all quiet like I'm not telling y'all anything. Y'all are all quiet like I ain't said a word. Just keep going then, all right? Just keep reading.
Colonel Wakan, sir.
Go ahead. Like how that woman is. Go ahead.
Verse 50. So shall righteousness hate iniquity.
That's how righteousness should hate iniquity. That's what you should look. This is how I'm good. I'm actually the good guy when I hate America. Oh, now I'm breaking it down. No, these brothers are bored, man. Look, they come up against us and say, you're wrong for spreading that hatred. You're wrong. The Bible just said, I'm righteous. I'm right. The righteous should hate iniquity.
Right.
Like how a hoe is jealous of a right woman. You over here, this girl. You ever heard of a girl spreading the lies, right?
Right.
They gonna spread lies about the good girl in school. They gonna go up to her. They gonna say, oh yes, she slept with so and so and so. She a hoe. Meanwhile, the girl who's spreading that rumor is the real hoe.
Right.
She's the known hoe in the school.
Right.
That's keep reading now. Salah again.
Colonel Wakan, sir. So shall righteousness hate iniquity when she decketh herself, and shall accuse her face to face. And shall accuse her to her face. When he cometh, that shall defend. When he cometh, that shall defend him that diligently searcheth out every sin upon the earth.
Look, man, this is how, just like how I explained in that metaphor, and shall accuse her to her face. That's what we do. We're not going to go along to get along. We're not going to hold our tongue. We're gonna say, hey, look, this is this person a hoe XYZ, or this is evil. They're doing this. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're gonna try to say black people commit crime, blah 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 blah. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. These crimes that they're doing, they'll never be persecuted for. Right. I don't know a nigga out in the world doing child slavery.
Right.
Brother, what are we talking about?
Right.
These are big boy white crimes.
Right.
Going up to God himself in heaven. Right. This is a debate of righteousness. You want to blame black people for smoking? I blame the white people who brought the drugs in. Right. You want to blame black people for shooting up the spot. I blame white people for bringing in guns to the community and crates. I actually seen the video of the crates. That's not a conspiracy. I don't care. You could debate me. On the trains, leaving the train cart open. See, this brother, he know what he's talking about. You want to blame black people for these? I'm not gonna say little crimes. I'm a righteous man. These are crimes yet and still. But you want to blame black people for these crimes? I'm going to also blame the people who orchestrated. I'm going to blame the white FBI agent who was at the desk who made the whole idea up.
Right.
You're putting the cart before the horse? Is that what it is? You never heard of putting the cart before the horse? You putting the ending before the beginning.
Right.
You putting the ending before the beginning. You over here worried about the end. Well, how did this get here? Right. Were there other crimes associated with this? That's what they're doing with the Diddy trial. They're saying, well, this is a crime. They're putting the cart before the horse. They said, all right, well, we don't want to get him on grape. Even Cassie said he raped him. Well, we're going to leave grape on the side. We're going to leave extortion on the side. We're going to leave this on the side. We're going to try to get RICO, and we're going to try to get trafficking. Because they're trying to say, little crimes to the side. They're focusing on the big crimes. I'm focusing on all of it.
Right.
All the things, all the evils that are going on in this world, and who is the originator of it. The originator of sin is my oppressor. I've looked at the books. I've looked in the history books. I've looked at the declassified documents. I've looked at the news. I've looked at the press conferences.
Right.
My oppressor is the devil. The Bible speaks of.
That's right.
What we got any more on that? We're gonna go to
Colonel Wakan, sir. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 51. And therefore be ye not like thereunto, nor to the works thereof.
And that is the conclusion of my class. If you want to be saved, if you want to avoid the harsh punishments and the anger of God, you should not be like this evil place.
Right.
You should not be like it at all. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. With that, if there are no comments or questions, we'll close out the class. Yeah, we'll pass the class over to Trooper Itis. We'll pass the class over to Officer Yawash. Give him a hand.
Are you cool? You good? You good?
This ISUPK security announcements. The ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street at Harlem, New York, at the Command General Yohana. We for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister come into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, a brother or sister have an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. If there another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew, mara'ash. 10% of every penny or every increase of the law gives you. Give to the church department or teacher. Preach funds. Free will offering for priests. Not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you will like. Upcoming full of complications. Holy Convocation Memorial of the blowing of the trumpet. First day on the 7th month. Sunday, 21st September 2025. You can find this in Leviticus 23, chapter 23, verse 24 through 25. Also, we got Day of Atonement, 10th day of the 7th month, Tuesday, 30th September 2025. You can also go find this in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 27 through 32. Reminders, Akim and Akwat, to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, and headband, scarf. This concludes the ISUPK security announcement.
All right, with that, we'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers and sisters. Men of Israel, Imadium, which means to stand. Imadium Shabbat. Imadium. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Bragathon. Sorry, turn to face the sisters. Men of Israel, Imadium Shabbat. Imadium. Barak. Yahweh Shema Adon Hashem Yahushua. Yadi Matah. Class dismissed.